Sorry, you have dialed incorrectly. Please hang up and try again.
Welcome back to part 3 and hopefully the last section of this repair for this Akai S1000. And the aim of the game today is to swap out its original 5-volt power supply for this new one made by TDK. Dinky little thing, really nice, really small compared to this old one. And luckily the owner realised that the price of a new set of caps is actually the same price as this replacement brand new TDK one, so we went for that. And just to show you what sort of mess it got itself into, you can see all some gunk in here where the old power supply used to sit. And looking around this new power supply, there's a few mounting options. I particularly like these two M3 machined holes here. So originally I had powered from the mains for the rest of the unit, and then the 5-volt I'd done for my bench power supply. So I'm just going to have to clear this up. And just to show you what a mess this original power supply was, I didn't even want to connect electricity to it. You can see what a mess it is. And if you look carefully, this is the indicator line that shows the primary side to the secondary, and there's so much gunk and rotten traces that I would not want to switch this to the mains tool. And because the TDK power supply doesn't have a fuse, we'll have to take this one out of here. By sheer luck of fate, there's two holes here which are actually lining up exactly with the two M3 bolts there. So hopefully we might be able to screw them. As you can see, they line up there nicely. And the old power supply went in this way, so we need to have the connections in the same orientation. So we would have to put this in this way. So that shouldn't be too difficult. And if we slide off these protective bits at the front, we can have access to the screw terminals and swap them over. So for the primary side we need to add a fuse. So I've got this inline fuse holder which we're going to use to put the 3.15 amp fuse in. And we don't need this extended tab here, so we're just going to tap that flat. And these holes are threaded, which we don't need to be, so I'm just going to drill them out. Because this power supply sits back a little bit, I'm going to have to extend this neutral cable so it'll fit. Okay, so to test the switch mode power supply, they normally like to have a load. It's actually a 3.5 milliamp fuse in there. So for the switch mode power supply to boot up correctly, it does need a load. So I'm going to try and see what happens if I plug this 8 ohm power resistor to my power supply and see how much current it draws. So if we just turn it on, oh, that's pulling half an amp. So yeah, I reckon that's definitely going to be enough to enable the switch mode to turn on correctly. And because we don't want to break anything, we actually want to test this 5 volts before we connect it to the main board. And yep, perfect. Now interestingly, when you turn it off, it does take a little while for the power supply to dissipate. There you go, and that was quite some time. Very interesting. Okay, so there's the new 5-volt power supply in. Let's see if she runs on her own steam. Look at that. If I can just get a better picture of the screen. Just to contrast. Yep, booting up perfectly. Happy days. Everything seems to be working fine. Brilliant. So let's just put her back together again. Okay, I had to find another screw because there's one missing, but she's back. And does she still work? Yeah. Okay. Seems to be no problems at all. So now that it's working, I guess we should probably put it to use. Okay, so I was going back through about 20 years worth of floppies. I got boxes of them, and there was some stuff I found for the S1000. So we'll just load up the operating system. So this first disc is labelled Toby Quanta Backup Akai S1000, and I believe this was for a Thames Valley University assignment created by the great Jolene Forward, where you had to take samples from real life and create some sort of musical piece out of them. So if I remember rightly, we put the disc in, we can go into the disc, and then it will show us everything that's on the disc, and we can load the entire disc in one go at this stage by pressing F8. And here we can see it's loading in a sample called Fax, and there's one called HD and Sorry Program. And normally you would put your samples into a program. You can add filters and envelopes and things, put them on different MIDI channels, and then you could have many sounds playing from the Akai at once. I don't have the original MIDI file, so I can just play the raw samples. So that's loaded them up. If I go to edit sample, sorry.
Sorry, you have dialed incorrectly. Please hang up and try again. Sorry, you have dialed incorrectly. Sorry, you have dialed incorrectly. Please hang up and try again.
Oh, looks like we put a loop on there.
Sorry.
What else do we have? Hard drive. So hard disk and a fax. So that was one disc, and we have another disc here labelled Supernatural. It says disc 1 of 2. I only have one disc, and if we go to disc, just to make things nice, we can clear the memory and then load kick drum, Vox. I think this is a remix that we did. Oh, bad floppy data. Did anything get through? Sine wave. Square wave. Sawtooth. That sounds edited to me.
I feel supernatural, 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 soup, 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 supernatural.
Oh.
Supernatural.
Oh, that's going into the fact sample somehow. That bad error when it's loading off the disk. And finally, I have these discs, and it's 4 of 6, so I'm missing 2. So let's see what we can do with these. We go to disk, and I want to clear. And I think we just keep going with the discs. See how long it takes? And then this should add. Cetrill. So it should be adding all these to this into the memory. And you got to remember, in the old days, we had to format these discs before we could even save to them. And that always used to be the big thing at the end of the session. You not just had to save your work, quite often you had to format the discs. Never one quite had the foresight to format before the session. Well, we couldn't really get into the studio on the sampler to format them anyway, so... Interesting to see how much space this is using with 4 discs. So we're only using 48% of the memory at the moment. Med Dave. C trill. Kick drum. We must have been into some pretty heavy music back then. No idea which pitch we're using as a kick drum. Ooh, that was called Falling. Rev guitar. Really cool. And there we go. That's all the sounds that I have available to me right now. But nice to go down nostalgia lane. I vaguely recognise some of those samples. So yeah, this is ready to go back to its owner. It's been quite a fun one. Catch you next time.